Mexico City, CDMX, the place to be. This ain't your average tourist trap. We're talking about a megacity with a soul. A heart that beats with history, culture, and some of the best street tacos you'll ever have. Trust me on that. We're diving deep into the real Mexico City. Think Anthony Bourdain, but with fewer reservations and way more slang. We're going beyond the guidebook. Forget those double-decker tour buses, all right? We're catching the metro, rubbing shoulders with the locals, and getting lost in the magic of this place. This city's got layers, man, like an onion. But instead of making you cry, it'll blow your mind. Ancient Aztec temples chilling next to colonial churches, cutting-edge art galleries down the street from markets selling luchador masks. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. Get ready to unleash your inner explorer, because we're about to unlock the secrets of Mexico City, one hidden gem at a time. Let's do this. First things first, a little history lesson. Don't worry, I'll keep it short and sweet, like a shot of good tequila. This place was once the heart of the Aztec Empire, Tenochtitlan. They built pyramids, man. Pyramids! Then the Spanish came along and, well, you know the rest. But hey, they left behind some pretty impressive architecture. Baroque churches, grand plazas, the works. It's a whole mashup of cultures, and it's beautiful. Fast forward a few centuries, and Mexico City's booming. It's a melting pot of art, music, and food. Frida Kahlo painted here. Diego Rivera made murals that'll blow your mind. And the food scene? Forget about it. We'll get to that later. The point is, this city's got stories. Stories etched into the walls, whispered in the markets, and poured into every bite of food. So buckle up, amigos, because we're about to take a ride through time and culture. Look, I know what you're thinking. Mexico City's huge. Where do you even start? That's where I come in, your friendly neighborhood guide to all things CDMX. I'm here to break it down for you, make it easy to navigate, and help you experience this city like a true Chilango. We're talking about insider tips, off-the-beaten-path adventures, and maybe a few stories I probably shouldn't tell. But hey, what happens in Mexico City stays in Mexico City, right? Just kidding. Kinda. Over the next few sections, we'll hit up the must-see spots, but we're also going deep into the heart of the city. We're talking about local markets, hidden cantinas, and street food stalls that'll make your taste buds sing. So, grab your walking shoes, your appetite for adventure, and maybe a phrase book if your Spanish is a little rusty. We're about to embark on an epic journey through the soul of Mexico City. Ready? Vámonos! All right, amigos, let's kick things off in the heart of it all, the Zócalo. This ain't just any plaza, it's one of the largest in the world. We're talking Aztec ceremonies, colonial parades, revolutions sparked. This place has seen it all. You got the Metropolitan Cathedral on one side, a masterpiece of Spanish colonial architecture. The inside is even more impressive, trust me. Gold leaf everywhere. Makes you feel like you're walking into a treasure chest. Then you got the National Palace, home to the president's office and some seriously epic Diego Rivera murals. We're talking massive depictions of Mexican history, from the Aztecs to the Revolution. It's like a history book, but way more artistic. And don't even get me started on the street performers. Mariachi bands, indigenous dancers, guys balancing on stacks of chairs. You never know what you're gonna see. It's a whole vibe, man. A symphony of chaos that somehow works. Spend a few hours here, soak it all in, grab a seat on a bench, people watch, and feel the pulse of the city. This is where it all began, and it's still the beating heart of Mexico City. Now, let's escape the concrete jungle for a bit and head to Chapultepec Park. This place is massive. We're talking over 2,000 acres of green space. It's like Central Park, but with way more history and way better street food. Inside the park, you got Chapultepec Castle, perched on top of a hill like something out of a fairy tale. It used to be a royal residence, then a military academy. Now it's a museum with killer views of the city. But the park's more than just the castle. You got lakes, museums, a zoo, even a freaking amusement park. You could easily spend a whole day here and still not see everything. Rent a bike, pack a picnic, and get lost in the tranquility. Oh, and keep an eye out for the vendors selling esquites. That's corn in a cup with chili, cheese, and lime. Trust me, it's the perfect park snack. You're welcome. Okay, art lovers, this one's for you. The Frida Kahlo Museum, also known as the Blue House. This is where Frida Kahlo was born, lived, and created some of her most famous works. It's like stepping into her world. You'll see her studio, her easel, even her paints. Her presence is everywhere. You can almost feel her creative energy in the air. The house itself is a work of art. Bright blue walls, a lush courtyard filled with Mexican folk art. It's a photographer's dream, but it's more than just a pretty facade. The museum houses a collection of her paintings, personal belongings, and photographs. You'll get a glimpse into her life, her loves, her struggles. It's powerful stuff. Book your tickets in advance, though. This place gets packed, and for good reason. It's an unforgettable experience that'll stay with you long after you leave. All right, last stop on our architectural adventure, the Palacio de Bellas Artes. This building is a stunner. We're talking Art Deco grandeur with a touch of Mexican flair. Think marble staircases, stained glass windows, and a dome that'll make your jaw drop. Inside, you got theaters, galleries, and murals by some of Mexico's most famous artists, including Diego Rivera, of course. Catch a show if you can. They got everything from ballet to opera to traditional Mexican dance. Even if you don't go inside, check it out from the outside. It's especially magical at night when it's all lit up. Take a stroll around the surrounding park, grab a coffee from one of the nearby cafes, and just soak in the ambiance. It's the perfect way to end your day of exploring. All right, amigos, let's ditch the tourist traps for a bit and dive into the real deal, La Roma. This neighborhood is like the hipster haven of Mexico City. But hold up, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. Imagine vintage shops next to artisanal coffee houses, street art murals popping up on every corner, and some of the coolest bars and restaurants in the city. Start your day at a sidewalk cafe, sipping on some seriously strong coffee. These guys don't mess around with their caffeine. Stroll down Álvaro Obregón, the main drag, and get lost in the maze of boutiques, art galleries, and bookstores. You might even find a vintage lucha libre mask to take home. Come nightfall, La Roma transforms into a buzzing nightlife hub. We're talking speakeasy-style bars, rooftop terraces with city views, and live music venues that'll keep you grooving till late. Trust me, you won't find a shortage of places to eat, drink, and be merry in this barrio. And here's a pro tip. Keep an eye out for the street food stalls. La Roma's got some hidden gems when it comes to street eats. Try the tacos al pastor, the esquites, or anything really. You won't regret it. Next up, we're heading south to Coyoacán, a charming neighborhood with a bohemian heart and a touch of old-world magic. This is where Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera hung out, and you can feel their artistic spirit lingering in the air. Start your journey at the Frida Kahlo Museum, aka the Blue House, which we already talked about. But trust me, it's worth a second visit. Afterwards, get lost in the cobblestone streets lined with colonial-era buildings painted in bright hues. Hit up the Mercado de Artesanías La Ciudadela, a craft market where you can find everything from hand-painted ceramics to woven textiles. Bargain hard, my friends, and don't be afraid to haggle. Grab lunch at a traditional fonda, a small family-run restaurant, for a taste of authentic Mexican home cooking. Order the mole, a rich and complex sauce that'll blow your mind. Trust me, you'll thank me later. End your day at Jardín Centenario, the heart of Coyoacán, and grab a bench under the shade of a giant tree. Watch the street performers, listen to the mariachi bands, and soak up the vibrant energy of this magical place. All right, amigos, get ready for a unique experience. Xochimilco, the Venice of Mexico. Imagine colorful boats, called trajineras, gliding along canals, mariachi bands serenading you from other boats, and a whole lot of tequila flowing. Now, I'll be honest, this is a touristy activity, but hey, even locals love a good Xochimilco party. The key is to go with a group of friends, rent a trajinera for a few hours and embrace the madness. Bring your own drinks, snacks, and music, or hire a mariachi band to serenade you. You'll see vendors selling everything from flowers to food to souvenirs, so be prepared to haggle. Don't forget to try the elotes, grilled corn slathered in mayonnaise, cheese, and chili powder. It's the perfect snack to enjoy while cruising the canals. Pro tip: avoid Sundays as it gets super crowded. Weekdays or early mornings are your best bet for a more chill experience. Now, I could tell you about all the secret spots and local hangouts in Mexico City, but then I'd have to, silence you permanently. Just kidding. Or am I? But seriously, the beauty of the city is in discovery. So, I'm going to give you some hints, and you can do the rest. Explore the back streets of Roma Norte and find that hidden cafe with the perfect cup of Oaxacan coffee. Venture into the heart of Tepito, the city's largest market, and get lost in the labyrinth of stalls selling everything under the sun. Ask a local for their favorite cantina, a traditional Mexican bar, and rub shoulders with the regulars over a shot of mezcal. Catch a lucha libre match at Arena Mexico and witness the high-flying spectacle of masked wrestlers. The point is, get off the beaten path, talk to the locals, and embrace the unexpected. That's where you'll find the true spirit of Mexico City, waiting to be discovered. All right, amigos, buckle up your pantalones because we're about to embark on a journey that'll have your taste buds doing the salsa. Forget Paris, New York, or Tokyo. When it comes to food, Mexico City is in a league of its own. We're not just talking about fancy restaurants with Michelin stars, although we'll get to those later. I'm talking about the soul of Mexican cuisine, the kind of food that's passed down through generations, cooked with love by abuelas in tiny kitchens, and bursting with flavor in every single bite. Imagine this: the smoky aroma of al pastor grilling on a spit, the tangy scent of fresh lime and cilantro, the spicy kick of salsa that'll clear your sinuses. It's a symphony of flavors and aromas that'll make you want to dance the jarabe tapatio right there on the sidewalk. Get ready to ditch your diet, loosen your belt a notch, and dive headfirst into the delicious chaos that is Mexico City's food scene. Trust me, your stomach will thank you for it. First stop on our culinary adventure, Mercado de San Juan, the city's most famous market and a chef's paradise. This ain't your average tourist trap selling overpriced souvenirs. I'm talking about the real deal, where locals come to haggle over fresh produce, exotic meats, and spices that'll make your head spin. Walk through rows of colorful stalls piled high with fruits you've never even seen before. Smell the intoxicating aroma of freshly ground coffee beans and spices from around the world. Marvel at the sheer variety of ingredients, from plump avocados to glistening seafood to, wait for it, insects. Yeah, you heard that right. Mercado de San Juan is not for the faint of heart or stomach. But hey, when in Rome, right? If you're feeling adventurous, try some chapulines, grasshoppers, or escamoles, ant larvae. They're considered delicacies here, and who knows, you might just discover your new favorite snack. Even if you're not brave enough to sample the more exotic offerings, Mercado de San Juan is a feast for the senses. Grab a fresh fruit juice, wander through the aisles, and soak up the vibrant atmosphere. It's an experience you won't find in any restaurant. From street stalls to silver linings, a taco tour for the ages. Let's be real, amigos. You can't come to Mexico City and not go on a taco crawl. I'm talking about the real deal. Start your day with some tacos al pastor, add some cilantro, onions, and a squeeze of lime. Perfection. Head to a taqueria with a cult following, like El Huequito or Los Cocuyos. These places have been serving up mouth-watering tacos for generations. Section 4. Beyond tacos, a culinary adventure awaits. Look, I know tacos are life, but Mexico City's culinary scene goes way beyond just tacos, as amazing as they are. We're talking about a diverse and delicious world of flavors just waiting to be explored. Start your day with chilaquiles, a traditional breakfast dish made with fried tortillas, salsa, cheese, and your choice of toppings like eggs, chicken, or chorizo. It's the perfect hangover cure. Not that you'll need it after all those tacos, right? For lunch, try mole poblano, a rich and complex sauce made with chili peppers, spices, and chocolate. It's traditionally served with chicken or turkey, and it's a flavor explosion in your mouth. In the evening, head to a cantina, a traditional Mexican bar, for some botanas, small snacks served with drinks. Try the chicharrón de queso, a crispy, cheesy delight that'll have you licking your fingers. And for a sweet treat, you can't go wrong with churros, fried dough pastries sprinkled with sugar and cinnamon. Dip them in hot chocolate or dulce de leche for an extra dose of sweetness. Section 1. Beyond the Basilica, Fiesta time in the City of Angels. All right, amigos, let's talk about the energy that pulses through this city. Mexico City knows how to party, and I don't just mean tequila shots at 3 a.m., although that's definitely part of it. We're talking about festivals, celebrations, and a vibrant street culture that'll have you wanting to move your feet. First up, let's talk about the Basilica de Guadalupe. It's not just a church, it's a pilgrimage site, a cultural icon, and a place where millions gather every year to celebrate the Virgin of Guadalupe. Imagine a sea of people, mariachi bands, traditional dancers, and a whole lot of faith and fervor. It's an experience that'll stay with you, whether you're religious or not. But the party doesn't stop there. Mexico City has festivals for everything. Food festivals, music festivals, art festivals, you name it. They celebrate it. Check out the Festival del Centro Histórico, a celebration of art and culture in the historic center. Or hit up the Corona Capital Festival for a weekend of international and local music acts. Keep an eye out for street fairs and markets popping up in different neighborhoods. These are great places to find unique souvenirs, try local delicacies, and soak up the vibrant street culture. Just be ready to haggle. Section 2. Lucha Libre, where masks meet mayhem. All right, amigos, get ready for a spectacle unlike any other. Lucha Libre. Forget WWE. This is the real deal. Imagine masked wrestlers in colorful costumes, flying through the air, delivering body slams, and captivating the crowd with their over-the-top theatrics. Head to Arena Mexico, the Madison Square Garden of Lucha Libre, and prepare to be entertained. You'll see legendary luchadors like El Santo and Blue Demon come to life. Well, they're successors anyway. The atmosphere is electric, the crowd is rowdy, and the action is non-stop. But Lucha Libre is more than just a sport. It's a cultural phenomenon. Each luchador has a unique persona, a backstory, and a signature move. The masks are sacred, representing the luchador's identity and legacy. It's a soap opera, a comic book, and a sporting event all rolled into one. Don't be afraid to get into the spirit of things. Cheer for your favorite luchador, boo the villain, and buy a mask from a street vendor outside the arena. It's an experience you won't soon forget. Section 3. Day of the Dead. A celebration of life, death, and everything in between. Now, let's talk about one of Mexico's most iconic celebrations, Day of the Dead, or Dia de Muertos. Forget Halloween. This ain't about spooky costumes and trick-or-treating. Day of the Dead is a time to remember loved ones who have passed away, to celebrate their lives, and to welcome their spirits back to the land of the living. Imagine streets adorned with colorful decorations, altars piled high with food offerings, sugar skulls grinning mischievously, and families gathering to share stories and memories of their departed loved ones. It's a celebration of life and death, a reminder that death is not the end, but a continuation of the journey. During Day of the Dead, Mexico City comes alive with a special kind of energy. Visit the cemeteries, where families gather to clean and decorate the graves of their loved ones. Attend a traditional procession, with people in elaborate costumes dancing to the beat of drums. And don't forget to try pan de muerto, a sweet bread traditionally baked for this occasion. Day of the Dead is a truly unique and moving experience, a chance to connect with Mexican culture on a deeper level and to reflect on the cycle of life and death. So, you've explored the landmarks and tasted the tacos. You've witnessed lucha libre and celebrated life and death. But how do you truly experience Mexico City like a local? Ditch the taxis and embrace the metro. It's cheap, efficient, and you'll get a real feel for the city. Learn a few basic Spanish phrases. It'll come in handy when ordering food. Embrace the art of haggling. It's part of the culture. Be adventurous with your food choices. Some of the best food is found in unexpected places. Be open to new experiences and let Mexico City work its magic on you. So, amigos, we've explored the heart and soul of Mexico City. We've walked through ancient ruins and Art Deco masterpieces. We've gotten lost in bustling markets and hidden cantinas. We've tasted the rainbow of flavors that make Mexican cuisine legendary. But here's the thing about Mexico City. It's more than just a collection of places or experiences. It's a feeling, man. An energy that vibrates through the streets, the people, the very air you breathe. It's chaotic. It's vibrant. It's alive. And once you've felt it, you're never quite the same. This city doesn't spoon-feed you its secrets. It dares you to discover them. It throws you headfirst into a whirlwind of sights, sounds, and smells, and invites you to find your own rhythm within the madness. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Mexico City's not for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart, the easily overwhelmed, or the picky eaters. But if you're up for an adventure, if you're ready to push your boundaries and embrace the unexpected, then this city will reward you in ways you can't even imagine. This ain't your average vacation, amigos. This is a chance to connect with a culture that's as old as time and as young as the music pulsing from a cantina at 2 a.m. It's an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone, to challenge your perspectives, and to come back changed. Mexico City will make you question everything you thought you knew about history, art, food, and maybe even yourself. But hey, isn't that what travel is all about? So, what are you waiting for, amigos? Pack your bags, book your flights, and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Mexico City is calling, and trust me, you don't want to miss this party. Don't just be a tourist, be an explorer. Get lost in the maze of cobblestone streets, haggle with vendors over colorful souvenirs, and savor every bite of food like it's your last. Talk to the locals, listen to their stories, and let them guide you to hidden gems you won't find in any guidebook. And remember, the best adventures are often the ones you didn't plan for. So go on, amigos, get out there and write your own Mexico City story. Trust me, it'll be one for the books. Hasta la próxima.